Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, and online is Wootini here with another Gay Gamer video podcast for y'all. I know it's been a little erratic lately. I had wanted to get back onto a regular weekly schedule again, but last week I had a horrible head cold and was congested and coughing and not in the mood. And also I did not, because I was sick, I did not go to the movies and I did not really play a lot of games. But now that I'm feeling better, I was able to go and see Captain America Brave New World, which I had bought tickets for like a month ago or so. It's fine, I guess, is the simple review. I was disappointed because it was just fine. Like, I like the character of Sam Wilson, and I feel like he deserves a better movie than what he got. Like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't boring, I wasn't like, I want to leave, it was fine, but he deserved better. It did help that I saw it in IMAX 3D, so that the action scenes had a bit more punch, especially there's a whole aerial flight combat scene that's like really awesome, and in IMAX, like, the screen would shift to the IMAX ratio, so it fills the sides and also the top and bottom of your field of vision, so it's just like, waha! So that was a lot of fun. But the story was just sort of like, whatever. Like, there's no real arc for Sam, like, he doesn't, like, change over the course of the film. It's basically, you end in the same place you were at the beginning, mostly. It's like, whatever, what was the point of this whole adventure? It didn't really amount to anything. I know that I've read that they had done a lot of reshoots and they were filming during COVID and it was a whole thing and they had to do all these reshoots. And apparently the entire Giancarlo Esposito character was added in reshoots. And I'm just like, did they do that to add another villain for him to fight so that they could have some more fight scenes to juice up the movie more? I don't know. Because the thing is that what he mostly does is act as the exposition fairy to help get that's how they find out what the whole conspiracy is and they get to the truth. He tells them. And I'm like, how did that information come about in the previous version of the film without this character? Like, did someone else do it? And were they did they lose all their scenes? I don't know. But I do have to say that I also enjoyed, surprisingly, I enjoyed the Sabra character. I don't remember her character's name in the film because it's just some normal name. But she's like this petite little ex-Black Widow Red Room spy who, like, it's this petite little thing and she kicks all kinds of ass and she was kind of delightful. I sort of enjoyed her. And I know that they're not going to put her in a fur cape and have her throw darts and stuff like in the comics, but I would have appreciated when they were saying, oh, she's ex-Red Room, she's a widow, codename Sabra. Just to get that out there, just to, for us comic nerds to show us that that's who this is. Because if I hadn't read in a review, I wouldn't have known that that's who this character is, because I don't know Sabra's real name. Like, I don't know. I do also have to say that I continue to enjoy the bromance between Sam and Joaquin. They're adorable together. And it doesn't hurt that Danny Ramirez is super cute. I mean, they're both cute, but, still. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, I would say go see it on a big screen, because if you watch it streaming on Disney Plus in 3 months, it's not going to be as effective visually, maybe, but your mileage may vary. I'm kind of over the Marvel movies now. They're just not, I go to see them out of obligation, it seems. So that's disappointing. But I will say that the Fantastic Four teaser trailer, they showed it in 3D, which was awesome, first of all. And they showed also the Thunderbolts trailer. And while the Thunderbolts is like, why does this movie even exist? I don't get it. I still don't get it. The Fantastic Four trailer was fucking delightful. And I cannot wait for that movie now. It is going to be awesome. I am convinced that will save Marvel. Fingers crossed. I hope it's as delightful and awesome as the trailer was. As for games, like I said, I was sick, so I didn't play a whole lot that week. Like I remember like because I would play like my daily games. I'd do a little Animal Crossing and I'd do a little bit of Disney and some Infinity Nikki. But like I remember one night I was playing Disney and I was just doing like a friendship quest and like gathering resources or whatever. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm exhausted. And I was like, I have to take a break. And I just turned it off and I was like, I need to rest. So I did a lot more watching of TV and movies while I wasn't feeling well. But over the last week, I've been feeling better, so I was able to play games again, and I played a ton of Infinity Nikki because it's fun and it helps escape the dumpster fire of a world that we now live in. So I did finish all of I finished the main fireworks quest and then all of the various side quests and stuff around it, the festivals and stuff, the limited time side quests so that I could get them. The thing is that I specifically, I focused on, I tend to focus on, I mean, like, if it's just a side quest, I do the side quests to do them for completion's sake. But then there's like other things where it's like, oh, well, if you do these things, you can get these rewards. And I want to do the ones that get me clothing, either pieces of clothing or recipes to craft clothing, because that's what the game is all about, is getting clothing to dress up in. So I'm like, okay, let's, do the ones that get me clothing. So, I'll do some quests, get an outfit, and then I'm like, yay. And I finished all of this stuff, and so I could go back to doing the main quest. Except now they were down for another update the other day, and I guess they added a few more side quests, so now I'm going to have to pause the main quest so that I can go back and do those before the time runs out. But I was doing a lot of the main quest, because there were some things that I saw in the side quest things where they're like, oh, you can do this and that, but you couldn't do it until you reached like chapter 7 of the main story. And I'm like, chapters? So I had to look it up online. I'm basically where I am in the game. I'm in the middle of chapter 4, which is, I guess, it looks to be about halfway through. So these are things that you can only do after you've finished the main story and you're just doing random shit and all of the extra stuff. And I have no doubt that there are tons of people out there who have already finished this game. But I have not. I'm taking my time. I don't like to rush through games that I enjoy. But it's interesting because, as you might recall, when I first started this game, I looked online to see how far you can get without paying anything, because I've been playing this for ages now. I think my PlayStation app says I've played it for like 50 to 60, it's like 58 hours. I'm coming up on 60 hours playing this game, and like I have not spent a cent. And they said that you can get to a certain point and then you need so many resources that to collect them all yourself would just take forever. So to speed things up and progress in the game, you need to spend some money in the store to get what you need to get. And I'm like, okay, fine. But that still hasn't happened to me yet. And in fact, I did reach a point in the main quest where I needed to craft a violinist's outfit in order to play music to get... Never mind. So I was like, oh crap, do I have everything I need? And it turned out I did. I had all the resources that I needed, because I keep collecting resources left and right. And I had all the resources that I needed, and I was like, yay, great. And I crafted the violinist outfit. And I was like, this is terrific. And I was like, okay, that's not an obstacle. Although the obstacle then became when I had to actually play the violin, because there are a couple of musical outfits that I got during the fireworks festival, the New Bloom Festival, whatever it's called, and there was like a flute and then like a Japanese guitar thing. I don't know what it's called, sorry. I don't remember the name of it. And you basically just like activate the outfit, and then you can like, you press up, down, left, right in the face buttons, and that plays do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And it's like, okay. But with the violinist outfit, it was just sort of random, and you could just sort of do, and you could just noodle around, and it's cute. But with the violinist outfit, it gave you a very specific bunch of notes to play. And there was an upper register and a lower register that you had to switch between depending on the color of the note. So, and it doesn't tell you like up, down, left, right, square, X, it tells you so, la, ti, fa, do, and you have to know which buttons are which notes, and then which color to switch between upper and lower. And so you end up playing what doesn't sound like a song. It just sounds like no, 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 and it sounded like nothing. Also, I kept fucking up and pushing the wrong note because it wasn't the right register, and I had to start over at the beginning, and that was really annoying. I did eventually get through it, and I can continue the main quest, thank goodness. But yeah, like, that was not... It wasn't like a fun rhythm game. It was, like, really annoying. Did not like the violin. I am not musically inclined. Sorry. See, that would have been a lot worse last episode. One cough is pretty good. So, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, I've also been playing Starfield, doing various missions and swapping out companions and getting further and further in various quest lines. But what I wanted to talk about was, I also, during the past couple weeks, I did decide that I wanted to check out the new update to No Man's Sky, Worlds 2. And it's supposed to give you like a whole bunch of new planets and biomes to explore, and there's some graphical improvements and whatever and stuff. But I wanted to see, what are the new planets and stuff? That would be fun. But it turns out that to see the new planets, you have to like create them, and to do that, you have to do the Worlds 2 quest line. The problem is, I discovered I was flying around, nothing was happening. I was like, well, how do you activate this quest line? The problem is that to activate the quest line, you have to have done some prerequisites. And unfortunately, one of the prerequisites is to have reached a certain point in the autophage quest line. And as you might recall, if you are a long-time viewer of these vidcasts, there were a couple episodes last year where I complained about how I couldn't do the autophage quest line because it wouldn't spawn. Apologies for the rain, it's getting very, very loud right now. The autophage quest line wouldn't spawn. And I tried to figure out why. And I redid a bunch of stuff, and I did these other things, and I had done the whole quest line with the Sentinels that you were supposed to do, but then they're like, you have to complete the Atlas quest. And I was like, I did that like 6 years ago when the game first came out. Like, what is the problem? And I could not find out what the problem was. And so I even tried, last week, I tried sending an email to the Hello Games customer support, just to basically be like, hey, I can't play any of the new quests because this quest won't spawn and I don't understand why. And I'm like, if someone could just take a look at my save game file and tell me, like, you're missing this, or you did this wrong, or whatever. Like, if they could just look at my save game and find out, like, this is what the problem is, and then hopefully fix it for me. But I got a confirmation that my bug report was submitted, but it's not really a bug report, because it's just sort of a, hey, help me play your game. But I'm never going to hear back, so I'm basically screwed. And I have looked all over the internet, and like I said, last year when I did it, and I'm like, let me try this, let me try that. Nothing worked. I cannot get it to spawn. I have gone to autophage planets and literally spent so much time just flying around looking for the settlements that you can find. If you find the settlement, you can start the quest, but it won't. And I'm like, F you. So I guess I'm basically done with No Man's Sky. Not that I've been playing it a lot lately anyway, but it is very sad because it's always been like a go-to game to like, chill out and relax and just explore around, and it's kind of chill and fun, and you can just find a nice planet and wander around for a while, and it's great. But like literally, if I can't do these quests, then I'm just doing random exploration, and that's not as much fun. So, and it's frustrating because Hello Games keeps releasing these quests that I can't do. And that's super annoying. So, I guess I'm kind of done with No Man's Sky. If I want to chill out, I'll play Infinity Nikki. It's pretty chill, even with the platforming. It's pretty chill. So, that's enough for this episode. Come back next time, and I'll have more to talk about. Bye!